Finding your breath, finding your body, noticing your mind. Receiving nourishment with each inhalation, releasing what doesn't serve you with each exhalation. Perhaps noticing that your inner world is becoming just a bit more spacious, a bit more quiet. And then from this place of quietude, this place of presence, imagine yourself standing in a softly lit, warm, comfortable room of your choice. A space that's beautiful to you, a space that feels inviting, comfortable. And then notice that there's a beautiful doorway in that space. A door that looks very inviting. Inviting in the sense that it seems that something beautiful or interesting might lie behind it. Something familiar, something enticing. And so you open the door. And as you open this door, it opens into a beautiful golden autumn afternoon. Beautiful autumn scenery unfolding in front of you exactly as you imagine the most beautiful autumn scenery to look. Gentle, beautiful, inviting. And you decide to step into that autumn beauty, into this meadow, toward any trees, perhaps noticing a small stream winding its way through the landscape nearby. Perhaps hearing the sound of the rustling of the leaves in the tree, the gentle gurgling of the stream as it winds its way through the meadows. Perhaps sensing into the vitality, the clarity, even the joy of this beautiful autumn afternoon, this beautiful place. As you notice sunlight filtering through the tree branches, revealing golden, red, orange, yellow colors of the autumn leaves. Maybe there's a warm sun. Notice if you can feel the warmth on your skin. Maybe imagine a soft breeze brushing your skin. Gentle movements, experiences that remind you of your aliveness, your vitality, your presence in this moment. If you would like, you could stand still, inhaling the nourishing scent of the earth, the fallen leaves. Maybe you exhale with ease, with gratitude into this moment of being with this beautiful autumn landscape all around you. What might you hear? Is there perhaps the sound of a gentle breeze, the whisper of the winds in the treetops? Maybe you notice that your own breath is silently taking on the rhythm of this softness, this gentleness. Inhalations and exhalations moving in and releasing out, steady and natural. As you realize deep in your inner fibers of your being that there is nothing to force, nothing to change. As you're simply breathing with the rhythm of life that's all around you. From this place of feeling so connected to this beautiful autumn landscape, you look around and you see leaves drifting downward from the trees, one by one. Red, orange, yellow, golden, even green leaves, spinning themselves gracefully toward the ground, each in its own way, each on its own path, each on its own trajectory. You notice that some leaves are falling freely, letting go, releasing themselves downward toward the earth. Other leaves seem to be hanging on as long as they can, fluttering in the wind, but staying connected to the branch. Each leaf has its own way, its own story, its own season, its own memory. Can you let your own thoughts be like those leaves? Can you imagine your thoughts becoming leaves or placing them on a leaf? Some will float away gently in the breeze. Some maybe get stuck on a branch. Others may release and get caught in an upburst of air, suspended. Some simply tumble to the earth, or maybe to the little creek nearby to be carried away on the water. This is how your thoughts come and go. Some coming and releasing gently and quickly. Others coming and hanging on. Others simply floating away. Can you simply watch this coming and going of the leaves? Can you notice the earth receiving the leaves that have fallen, the river carrying them away, each in its own time, everything in its own way? You can stay with this scenery, you can stay with this watching, or you could gently shift your attention to something, some thought that you have been holding on to, like that leaf that's clinging to the branch, not quite yet willing to let go. Is there something you are holding on to? A worry, a regret, a habit, a pattern perhaps of responding or of being in a relationship, a heaviness of heart perhaps. Can you let yourself see this thing, this creation of your mind that you're clinging to, not to judge, but just to acknowledge its presence? And can you imagine that thing, that thought, that belief that you're hanging on to, that regret, that heaviness, as that leaf still clinging to a branch, hesitant to release its hold? even though the seasons have changed, the needs have changed. This leaf once had purpose. This thought once had purpose. Perhaps it protected you. Perhaps it sheltered you. This behavior at once may have nourished you in its time. But that thought is like the leaf. It's no longer green. Perhaps its time has come to release onto the forest floor, into the river of life. Can you take a gentle healing breath in? And as you exhale, can you imagine the stem of that leaf, the stem of whatever it is that is inviting you to hold on to this worry, this habit, this regret, loosening, releasing, allowing itself to tumble, to drift softly through the air, floating downward to rest among the other leaves on the earth. Can you recognize that when you release, nothing is gone, nothing is lost? The leaf has simply returned to the earth, becoming a part of the soil that will nourish new life, that will invite the new to emerge with clarity, with faith. Just like that leaf, when you let go of what's holding on within you, what you release becomes part of your own growth. It makes room for new seeds to sprout, for new ways to be, for new paths to forge, for new patterns to develop. Can you be with this for a moment? Can you ponder this question of what can I let go of? Or would you rather sit with your breath or lie down with your breath with ease? If you want to follow the inquiry, can you ask yourself, what new seeds do I wish to plant? If I let go, what new intentions and hopes and qualities may I be able to tend? What might happen to these new seeds that can emerge? How can they blossom, perhaps, when spring returns? Can you breathe into the possibility of answers without struggling for words, without struggling for concrete ideas? Just letting the questions rest in your heart, feeling their potential. Allowing yourself to be present with the possibilities of what it means to let go, to open up to something new. And then for a couple of minutes, I will be silent so that there can be inner silence for you, so that the breath can continue to move through you like the wind through branches, your heart still, your body at ease, silent, until my voice brings you back in a couple of minutes as you rest in silence. And when you are ready, if you would like, you could find that inner landscape again, that beautiful autumn meadow, the beautiful golden, red, and orange trees, the gurgling of the creek. And perhaps you decide to find the path back to where you started, back to that door that led you into this beautiful landscape. Perhaps you re-enter the place from which you started. Maybe you look back one more time at this autumn landscape, knowing that it will always welcome you when you want or need to return. You hold the power to return to this place that invites you to move into quietude, to come to stillness, to make discerning choices about what you hold on to and what you let go of. And then return yourself to this moment, to this space, to this community, as you gently reawaken your senses to your inner and outer world. As you sense into your body as it is right here, right now. Noticing if there is a desire for a bit of movement, wiggles, shakes, stretches, or if you'd rather remain in quietude and give in to what your body needs, inviting to move it, to stretch, to wiggle, or to continue to rest. Inhabiting your body just as it is in this moment. Releasing any expectations of what your body ought to want or ought to be. And then reconnect yourself very consciously to the rhythm of your breath. Finding your inhalations, your exhalations. Continuing with each inhalation to deeply treasure its nourishing and calming quality as you invite in the new. Continuing with each exhalation to treasure the capacity to let go, to release. Checking in with your mind to notice any thoughts or feelings that are present for you now. Perhaps noticing if the wisdom of autumn, the wisdom of releasing with grace, with trust, and with faith in the renewal that can follow, can unfold in your mind in this moment. Perhaps deeply informing your deeper inner wisdom. Perhaps shaping your intuition to become wise and spacious, open and willing. And just perhaps maybe encountering the seed of joy that lies within you and that is nourished by our capacity to release and let go of what no longer serves so that we can cultivate the new. If you are still lying on the earth and you would like to close the meditation in community, you might choose to rise to a seat. Or you can remain lying down and close the meditation in your own way. If you have arrived at a seat, I invite you to place your hands to your heart as you bow your head to your heart. Take a moment to notice whether there is a takeaway from your time in class today. Something meaningful, interesting, curious, challenging. Something that perhaps can blend with your intention that you had set at the beginning of class. To inform a dedication that might emerge from your deeper, inner, joyful, wise self. A dedication that, yes, serves you, but also serves your community. A dedication that you can draw into your own heart with your in-breath. And that you can send off with you, off the mat with your out-breath. Not just in this moment, but also as you re-enter your life after this session and beyond. And as always, I thank you so much for sharing in this beautiful Thursday morning community and for moving through this practice with me. I will, of course,